Alright, what's up guys? This is Turtle Talk, and this is going to be about the 6th episode. It's been a while since I've had an episode, partly because of just not... It's not that I don't have the time, but just not feeling like making it. I got sick for a while, and then I've also had the computer problems where it's just like, I don't have a good enough computer, well enough computer, to make videos all the time. I don't have I'm running out of storage space for one thing, which I that could be easily remedied. I could clear off a bunch of hard drive space, but just the I don't know, not enough RAM, not a good enough video card. It was good stuff when I got it. It was, top of the line, a couple years back, but now it's been a while since I've had any computer upgrades. So, been a while. Computer has a little bit of issues with some of the games I play and some of the stuff I do, and I've started to notice a couple things glitching out recently, like this last week, really. Like audio that is like music playing, and then it just kind of stutters, like my computer's gonna crash, kind of a jitter, and then it normally clears up, but it used to do that when it was crashing when I'd play video games and have too much going on, music and Firefox and stuff in the background. If I was watching like YouTube and trying to play a game at the same time, it'd just die. Like, I thought my computer was overheating for the longest time, but so anyways, I need to work towards getting newer parts, which someday it'll happen pretty soon. But yeah, other than that, I've been playing video games recently. I've kind of stepped away from League of Legends just because it gets you in such a bad mood. I don't have as many friends playing it anymore, and so just playing with the random people on the internet, their attitude is so negative that it's a real bummer. And I was getting to a place where I just felt like I was carrying that around with me. Like, I'd go other places, I'm just like, dude, oh, why? Like, I don't want to be like that. I'd much rather be a happier person. So a step back from that. I'm not going to quit playing League of Legends. It's still fun. It's one of those addicting games. It's like, when you're doing good, it's really good. When you're doing bad or your team's doing bad, they automatically blame everyone else, of course. They don't take any responsibility. That's probably the biggest problem, is they automatically blame everyone else. Like, they could not be in the wrong ever. And so, stop playing League of Legends a little bit. For a little bit. We'll see how long. I've been playing a lot of Black Ops 2, which I've made quite a few friends playing Black Ops 2 on the hardcore modes, just because hardcore versus the regular core modes, hardcore like kill confirmed, it's less like bullet spray. You're not just like running around SMGs, you're not just throwing grenades everywhere, because you can team kill. And there's more people that use a mic. I'm playing it on PC. I'm not playing on Xbox or anything, so I'm not playing with little kids, little 12-year-olds on the Xbox screaming into their crappy microphone that they, I don't even know. Man, the few times I've played anything on like Halo on Xbox 360, I was just like, this is so weird compared to playing FPS on a PC. Like, the amount of little kids and stuff that you have to deal with is just, it's a different level. And so, yeah. Black Ops 2 on PC, I feel like a lot of the people that I've been playing with that have a mic that you can tell like are pretty good, or that are fun to play with when we're playing in hardcore, like I've become friends with them on Steam at least, so we can join each other and play games again. I feel like it's been a nice relief from the League of Legends community, where they're just like, you suck, you're the worst. Oh, I feel like the Black Ops community has a lot of nicer people. I think a lot of games have a lot nicer people than League of Legends is definitely known for having a terrible community in the respect of like maturity. So part of that is that League of Legends is free to play and whatever. If you want to be a jerk, whatever, you'll just make a new account. It's not a big deal. That's part of it. Black Ops, I think, if you're a jerk or racist and stuff and you get your Steam account banned, there's a little bit more of an accountability thing. My computer's totally blinking out there. I don't know what I was doing, so we'll see if that's choppy in the video. Sorry if it is. But Black Ops, because you're linked to your Steam account, like people can see who you are sometimes if you have a public account and stuff, and then your games are all linked. If you were to get banned on Steam, I've never been banned on Steam, but I assume if you get banned on Steam, all your games are banned and then you lose all of them. So I think there's a little bit more respect. There's also more maturity. So Black Ops 2 has been pretty fun to play. I've prestige. I think I'm 7 or 8 prestige. I'm almost 8th prestige. So I've played quite a bit. Working towards max. I kind of taking a sidestep from that to play some other games. I got Torchlight 2, which is amazing. Like, if I would have known Torchlight 2 was going to be so amazing, and so what, say, Diablo 3 was supposed to be, wouldn't have even bothered playing Diablo 3. Like, maybe would have borrowed someone's account to play Diablo 3. That's about what I feel like it was worth. Like, the story was fine. The action and stuff in Diablo 3 was okay. The itemization is terrible, which Torchlight still has some of that. Like, there's just like sometimes you get some random items. You're like, this isn't something I could ever use. I don't think on any character. Maybe, you know, it's like just weird stats. I think Diablo 3 had that problem, but Diablo 3 had the auction house system to where you just basically went and bought all the gear you wanted. Advance yourself way beyond the level of leveling, and then really the story in Diablo 3, the biggest downfall for Diablo 3 story, which I haven't gotten that far in Torchlight, so I don't know how the storyline goes, or if you like have to go through it again and again. But Diablo 3, man, you do level 1 through 20 in normal, and then whatever the next difficulty, you do 20 to 30 something, and then 40 to something, and then up to 60. And changing the difficulty in the story doesn't change at all. It's the same thing, and that's just one character, and then you make the next character, and you're doing the same thing. 1 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 50 something, 60, and then once you get to 60, it's like grind the same thing on really hard modes. Yeah, it gets old. Really, I mean, I pretty much second character that I got to like 40, I think I was done with Diablo, and I don't think I even got 1 to 60, just because my friends had quit playing. They went back to League of Legends, they went back to other games, someone went back to World of Warcraft, because there's just more to do, better itemization. Like World of Warcraft, you definitely know like the sets you want your tier sets. It didn't seem like Diablo 3 had any of that, and I don't know if Torchlight 2 is going to, and I'm playing it alone. I'm not playing it like online or with friends, so it probably won't be something that lasts. But I paid, you know, it's like a $10 game when you get it on sale for like half off. So Torchlight 2 is way more worth it than a $60 Diablo 3 copy. Could have easily just borrowed someone's copy of Diablo 3 when they quit playing because they were like, I don't care, won't play anymore. Would have been really easy to do, even though Blizzard's really anti-sharing of accounts. They're really against that. They'll ban your WoW account for sharing with people if they're like, this is on a different IP every other day. They'll check like how far apart those are and be like, you can't travel that far. You're not allowed to share with your own kids or wife, or I remember people in guilds in WoW getting banned for like sharing with their wife. They're like, that's my significant other. I can share with they are. Everything I have is half theirs and half mine, and nope, your account's banned forever. Good luck, have a nice day, and almost, Blizzard, in those days, it seemed like they were almost like, don't even make a new account, because we'll just ban that one too. Like, it was really bad, and so, I could see that happening over Diablo 3, maybe. I don't share my account, I have an authenticator on it, so, anytime my friends are like, let me borrow your, I'm like, can't. I'm not taking the authenticator off, especially with how long I've been inactive on like WoW. I should probably get another account, put all my characters on it, and sell it. But again, Blizzard frowns on that, and I don't want to get flagged because I do have my Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne and stuff, so I could play the original Dota, and then I have Diablo 3, and I don't have StarCraft 2 on there. So. But it did let me play StarCraft 2 in the beta, so it was a good account. It's still a good account. I just don't don't want to share it and don't want to jeopardize my accounts something. Anyways, then what else have I been playing? Let's look. I've been playing Chivalry Medieval Warfare, which, let me tell you, when you get in a game where there's like, you have like 200 ping, not worth playing at all. And the first couple servers I jumped on, I was just like, I do not understand this game, and I'm like, I kept getting voted to be kicked, and people were like, pings in the server suck, and it's like half the people were like 200 ping, and I did not even think to look at that at first, but then I was like, dang, my hits clearly aren't connecting. I played on a server that I had like 30 ping, big difference, huge difference. So first thing to look for is like what your ping is, and it doesn't show you until you like spawn in, choose a class kind of thing, and then start going at it, and then you can hit tab to see your ping, which it kind of says like what the server's ping is, but it doesn't really tell you what the server's ping to you is from the lobby system. I couldn't quite figure it out, but I mean I just got that game and was just trying it out, and it's different, it's fun, it's I can see like, I don't know, there's like one game I did like positive KD, and I was having pretty fun. I was beating people up, but just because they had the higher ping, it's really a game of the highest ping loses, or lowest ping wins, because your shots connect, and you can see like when you're moving and bobbing in for a swing. I tried playing Archer for a while, and I could not figure it out. Like, the bows are weird, the crossbows are a pain with the reloading. Like, you gotta like put it down on the ground, use your foot, pull it up to like re-pull the string, and then you load an arrow on it, and you're like dead because someone chopped you in half while you're busy looking at the ground. That was not fun. A couple tries, I was like, I give up on this. I went back to the regular bow because it was like grab an arrow, you know, made a lot more sense than trying to use a crossbow. I don't know strategy-wise when it's more acceptable to have archers like in the king's room or something when you're defending him and everyone's trying to come funnel through one doorway. I don't know, team killing, I think I did a couple team kills because you're swinging in such close quarters sometimes. You're swinging a really big axe and stuff. You hit people, you shoot a crossbow, and you're trying to shoot a guy that's, you know, jumping back and forth with another guy. You end up hitting him. It's kind of, I don't know, it's not as fast as like a Black Ops or Counter-Strike game, so a little bit hard to really like just pick right up. It's gonna take time of playing and figuring out like what people's movements are when they go into swing, when they go to block, when they are just kind of teasing, like trying to start something with someone and trying to make them blow their first swing so they can get attacked. Really hard to figure all that out right away. And I only played it last night. First games was last night. I only probably played 5 to 10 games, somewhere in there. And it was fun. I played Archblade, which is a free-to-play kind of new style fighter. I don't know what to really relate that game to. It's different. Like I think it's pre-release or early release access on Steam right now, but it's free-to-play, and it's got some kind of like, you'll be able to buy skins and stuff later. Every character has like 2 abilities that are bound to like F and Q, and then it's got like left click to do one kind of attack, right click to do another, combo system where you do like one left click, one right click to do one kind of combo, and it's got like a little like help menu that you can pull up real like quick reference. It's like 2 clicks and then a right click to do this kind of move, or jump and right click to do some kind of like shoot from the air. And each character has its own different moves, so the first couple games, especially with the first time I get on a character, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know, like, if this is a range character. It doesn't really give you a description of any of that out in the lobby, and so there's like before you go to like a game or a quick match, there's like an option from the menu to go to like a training dummy, and it puts you in there, and the dummy just stands there, and you can beat on it and figure out like how your moves work. But really, like, some of them you just can't figure out like how much that's going to do to someone that's actually fighting back or blocking, or so. And it does have like, I think E or something as a block, and Archblade it's pretty fun. since it's free, why not check it out? I think it was like 700 megabyte download, and then it has to install with a couple, like 3 pre-game or first time you play setup things that run through like I don't want to say DirectX 11, but one of those Windows things that it has to like load to set up your game. Windows, what's the one of those network 3.1 network or something, Windows networks. So that, played a little bit of Dungeon Defenders because I like tower defense games. I've always kind of liked tower defense style games, and Dungeon Defenders is like, it's got a lot of that like fun, get items that have fun different abilities, and it's cool. It's different, and it's kind of cartoony. But Dungeon Defenders 2 was talked about at PAX East, and it looks exciting. I think Dungeon Defenders 2 is going to be fun because they're going to have like a MOBA Dota style gameplay, and that's supposed to be free to play, and then they'll have like the full game with story mode and tower stuff regular. I think that you'll have to pay for that, and then maybe I think again like Dungeon Defenders has DLC packs that are like more maps or more story kind of stuff, and yeah, so I think that'll be pretty fun. I'll probably want to play that game when it comes out this fall, summer to fall, somewhere in there. They said summer to fall, I think, at PAX East. So yeah, Dungeon Defenders is pretty fun. Been playing it because I played it for a while. I haven't had any friends that really played it, and then you can play online with just random people, and I've done that a couple times. I kind of like doing like the endless modes and seeing how many waves you can make it, you know. So that's pretty fun. Other than that, been watching Bleach, more of Bleach. I can't decide if I want to do a spoiler-filled video. I want to talk about Bleach, so we'll just say I'm gonna spoil some things probably, and I'm sorry if you plan on ever watching Bleach and haven't yet. You might want to just conclude this video, but yeah, I like Bleach. It's one of the better animes that I've really gotten into, and I think part of the commitment to Bleach is that it's so many episodes, you know, 367 I think, I don't know. And I've only watched 280, 290, wherever the English dub is at. And again, I watch the English dub because I normally watch this kind of stuff, Bleach anime and stuff. I watch those when I am going to sleep or while I am like falling asleep at night, and so I watch them dubbed instead of subtitled, so that I don't have to sit there and read and try and like, you can't keep up if it's in Japanese, like you just can't. So it's background noise basically for me. I like the beginning of Bleach. The first time I watched it, I was like, I have no idea what is going on. I have no idea like this whole other world they talk about. But I think it's one of those shows that really well brings character development to a lot of characters. That's part of the best part, is that it's so many characters, and they're brought in at a pretty decent pace. There's a lot of time, and there's a lot of episodes that, like, there'll be an episode based on just one character and giving you their backstory or how they became involved or why they are the way they are. And I think that's great. I like that they've taken the time, and I don't know about the manga or if it's like that, but I think the show, for what it is it's really good, and it's something that gets you committed to it because it's so many episodes. It's something that gets you caring about the characters, and that's good. It's harder for some animes to do that, but this one, Bleach does it pretty well, and so I like how the first I would say the first 2 seasons really are, I don't know if you should call them seasons, but really the first, what they are sagas, the first saga, we'll say, is basically the going to the Soul Society, going and meeting the captains, the 13 court guard captains, and the like how their system works, and them kind of being the outcast rebels, like trying to break in to that, and then having to fight most of them, and learning like how their differences are with their swords and their fighting styles and their personalities, and you get a lot of background. Really, it's really well paced. Like it's not too much. Like they don't just try and rush it. I don't think some people might say otherwise, but I think it's really well done. And so I recommend it if anyone is looking for a large commitment anime. You're like Bleach is a good one. I mean, it's up there in my top whatever list if I were to make one. My throat is so dry. Hold on, I can mute this. I will just save you of that cough. But yeah, I think Bleach it's one of the better ones, and the first saga is going through and meeting like the 13 squads and their captains and lieutenants and learning like all that, and then the big drama that happens, and how things like seem so disorderly, and they just like their whole plans change. And then the Bounce saga, I think there was a little bit before that. It's like the Mod Souls, which is like it's one of those interrupter like half a season, preseason kind of things that they have a lot of that in Bleach. They have a lot of like you're going through really good storyline, you're making a lot of really good progress. Let's have a side saga that's like it's not very big, it's not completely relevant, it seems like at first, and then it's like how they introduce new characters, and then they get to like the Bounce saga, and it's like this whole big, big bad guy thing. You forget about the bad guy from the whole first saga, all the drama that had gone on with that. You kind of like, all of a sudden they're friends with some of the people that they'd fought in the first saga. Like the second group, they're just, now they're like friends, they're buddy, or, they have to work together, and that's kind of cool. It's like, it's character development is what it is. What that comes down to is character development over a lot of episodes that you already know how they act, but then like how they have to interact with others changes them. And the stories, and you get some background. The Bounce saga was really good, I think, because even you get the background on some of the Bounce and what they did and how many there were and all their problems. I don't even know. Like I feel like it ended kind of abruptly. It was just kind of like, dang, like that's it. And I wish they would have went more into it. I wish they could have done a bit more. I mean, they're an immortal race that just could have lasted a lot longer and could have been. I would say some of them, Koga will say, could have been one of them that got turned into good and could have stayed about. That fought for the Soul Society could have done that. They took it a different way, which I respect what they did. It works. Yeah, it makes a good story. There's definitely like the weird things, like Ron Tao is like just been chilling for like 1,000 years. No one even remembers who I am. Like that kind of character that just like pops up and you're just like how does no one even know? Like you were here before the 13 courtyards squad, whatever it is. You were here before all of that, and really like no one remembers who you are. So she's one of those odd characters that like came in, I was just like, the first time I watched it, not this is a rewatch, so the first time I was just like, what? Like, how did they forget that you were this? She wasn't research and development like Mayuri and the other guy, Kisuke, but like it's just like they don't age the same. That's like a clear thing that you get from the anime. Is like they don't age the same. So she's like 1,000 years old. She's got the power to kind of live. They almost kind of touched that it's partly because of the mount thing that she hasn't aged. But that's something that like doesn't make sense right away. It's good that they have some character development and like have a little bit of closure on that story and a little bit of background that like pops up for like an episode. That's good. That's all well done. I just feel like it's like the Bount saga is almost like in Dragon Ball Z, like they have the whole Planet Namek stuff, and then they like have like the weird almost intermission when they go back to Earth, and then they have like the androids, and then they have the Cell saga, and then it got weird. And I don't want to say Bleach got weird forever after that, but it got weird for a little while after the Bount thing with the visor stuff, and it's kind of like a preparation mode to get ready for the whole Aizen and the Waco Mundo saga. And it's like there's a lot of build up, but then there's this kind of like side sagas that are just kind of like all of a sudden they're going back to school like nothing ever happened. Like, oh, I'm just gonna go back to school in Japan and it's all cool. So, you know, just bear with us while we go to school for a week and things are okay. And then there's weird stuff happens at school, and it's like we are in the middle of a war again, and stuff is very serious and people could die, so I gotta get stronger kind of stuff. Which, it's different. It's good. It's different, but it's, yeah. I don't know. I like it. All in all, I'm so committed to it. I'm waiting almost for the next. I don't know how long until the rest of the English stuff will be out. Honestly, it's gonna be a while probably. I think they have one every week or every 2 weeks, and I'm not up to it this watch through. I'm expecting to be able to watch up to about episode 300 by on the website I'm watching them on. I think fairly soon. So probably by the time they get to episode 300, if they hit one of those little mini sagas that like breaks off, I'm just gonna like cut it for a while and be like, all right, I'll come back when it's done, because I just cannot wait for some of the Aizen, the Aizen Waco Mundo saga stuff. When they go back to one of those, like that little after the, I want to say it's like season 10 or something, according to like Wikipedia or whatever. But they have that weird like princess girl that comes in and is like, save me, I need a bodyguard. That whole like distraction season tactic, it annoys me a bit. And I know it annoys a few of the other people I know that have talked about with this, and I'm like, I don't know why they do that. I know it's just like to fill time, like for more manga and stuff to come out, or to like, I don't know if the manga's doing that too, or if it's just the show is doing that. But it's like a few of the little mini seasons, or like half of a season, it like gets dedicated to something else that's totally like off topic and really tangent, really ADD'd. And once I get through it, I'm like, okay, that's how they introduce some new characters. They're gonna like make sense on how all of a sudden they show up and people know them. They have like, I mean, the princess chick with the soccer saga, man, that was like, why are we? I mean, we were in Waco Mundo. We were like breaking into the castle. Whoop, just kidding. We're way back here 6-8 months ago or whatever it was. And it was like, what? I'm confused. Like, and they explain it well enough, but it's almost too much for most people, I think, when you get to that. So, yeah. Anyway, that's enough for Bleach. Sorry if you sat through and watched that and got anything spoiled. I warned you. I tried to be kind of vague, but people that have watched it know. People that haven't watched it, just be ready for some of those weird little side seasons that come up, because they happen. They're not all bad. It's still, I mean, it's still the same show. It's still the same characters and stuff. It's just, it feels a bit out of place right away. Like the first time it happens, you're just like, meh, meh, why you do this to me? So that's something I've been watching. Then I've been watching a show from 1995 called Sliders, and that is a parallel universe show where they slide from one world to the next through a machine created by basically a college kid that stumbled across the right math. Parallel universe is taking a Einstein-Rosen bridge to worlds that are similar but different. And I recommend watching the show to anybody that likes anything alternate universe, alternate reality, alternate Earth, alternate history. I mean, they have things so far as like Texas dominated the whole western United States and claimed it as Texas, while the North and South were busy fighting, and so the whole world is different because of that. They have, the South won the Civil War or something as one, and so what kind of difference did that make? They had, they have like just, it's small little historical facts that you're like, why is this different? One of them, they're in San Francisco. One of them, California, is an earthquake zone, expecting a big, 10 point something, whatever, the big one, and so they've turned it into a island prison, much like, I guess they would have based it around, like, much like Australia was back in the day. Like, let's send all of our high security or whatever people here, and it's kind of their death sentence. When it falls in, it falls in. So that's one episode, and one thing about Sliders that it's a little hard to get used to is sometimes they do those cliffhanger ones where it's like, the next episode, they land in a world that is whatever, like covered in ice and blizzards, and you're watching it like, how do they get out of that, or how do they survive that for like 5 hours or 30 hours? Sometimes they have to stay there for like 5 days. Sometimes they get to stay there for like 30 seconds. They're trying to get back to their original planet, and they just can't. So they keep taking these slides to hopefully get back to the right one. And there's tons, thousands, of possibilities, and some of them are cliffhanger that like, we ended up on an icy one, and then the next one you start watching and it's like, wow, that was weird, let's find out what this world's about. And you're like, what happened to the icy one? Like, I don't get a pickup. There's been a few that do pick up from like a leftover one or from the last one, but there's been a couple I'm like, I want to see this world. Like, I want to see, like, one, they jump so much, slide so much that you can't, I would say you can't afford to do as a new show every idea and possibility, but it's cool that they had those ideas and possibilities back. Even in '95, it was like, it seemed kind of advanced, even though it's not like the most like graphically high quality show. It seems like still kind of relevant today, because it's still like they take facts, they change one thing and show you like, what's a possible outcome if this changed. George Washington died at an early age of, in his 20s, and what happened to America? They didn't have a first president because they didn't have some humble guy that got the role. Like, different things, and that changes the whole outcome. And it was a great concept for a show, and it was done pretty well. I like it. There's some, some running character jokes. Like, there's like one guy that like is a taxi driver on like a lot of the worlds, and that's funny because it's like, it's the same guy but it's a different world, but he's still a taxi driver. Every now and then you run into him and you're like, that's that guy. And so there's a few like people that like they saw on TV, or they saw on their original world, and yeah, it's clever. It's really good. I recommend watching it if you haven't. I think there's 4 or 5 seasons. And I don't remember how it ends, so that's why I'm rewatching it. I haven't watched it probably since 98, 99, probably when the last seasons were airing. Maybe in 2000 I watched a little bit, maybe of reruns. And I liked it. I remember watching the show, and it kind of reminded me of Quantum Leap, and my family was talking about Quantum Leap, and we watched an episode of that, and I was like, let's watch Sliders. It's on Netflix. We can do this. And so if you have Netflix, check out Sliders. It's worth it. It's a really good show. Other than that, what's going on? I don't know. I'm going to try and get some more videos up. some more vlogs up. I might try and get some more video game footage up. It could happen. Right now, computer's having a bit of problems. If I get it fixed soon, or sooner than later, then I will definitely be getting some more video and video game footage stuff up. I've wanted to put up some of my music on the YouTube channel, but I haven't made my music in 3 years, 4 years. It's been a while. So before, I wanted to get back into working on some electronica and drum and bass music, and I wanted to see if I'd learned anything. I've learned quite a bit about music in the last couple years, and that's why I started looking at my old music and go, man, I really did not know what I was doing. So I might only put up newer music, but I want to get the computer upgraded, get the RAM and stuff upgraded. I feel like I don't have enough RAM right now to be doing any big editing stuff. So when I do update that will probably kick back up, and then I will share with you guys what I have made, and hopefully it's enjoyable and not just crazy noise. I'm sure I think almost anything will pass for music nowadays after listening to a bunch of the dubstep and some of the drum and bass and drum step and some of the metal, man. I'm like, if my parents' thought their music was noise, imagine what they think about stuff like dubstep, which really is just noise. Like, what is dubstep? Wah wah. I mean, you can't explain that to people. Like, if you tried to explain, imagine, alternate world, you could go back and talk to Beethoven, Mozart, classical music guys, and you could explain to them dubstep and how it wob wob. You could explain the oscillation, the low frequency oscillation. If you could explain that to them, would they even know what you're talking about? Would they? I mean, because let's think what dubstep is, like a knob turner kind of. Like, that's the only term I could ever think of for some of the electronica, experimental electronica, and I wouldn't say trance, but there's some of the other like weird electronica genres that I used to listen to a lot, that were like basically like some guy in house in basement making music, and it was basically like the term I came up with was knob turner, because it was just like whatever kind of noise you could get a thing to make while twisting like one effect or one thing on the sound wave. So like, is that something you could explain to Beethoven, Mozart, or I mean, could you explain that to Elvis? I don't even know if they would understand like what you're talking. Like, what is this noise? So I think back to as far as my parents being like, our parents used to just call our music noise, and then they got mad at my music a couple years ago when it wasn't even that bad. And then I listen to dubstep now, and I'm like, I'm just barely on the edge of I'm too old for dubstep. I think maybe because I hang out with a lot more younger people and hang out with a bunch of people at like college groups and stuff, that maybe because of that I still listen to it, but I don't want to, like, it's not like a force thing. I do kind of like, there's some dubstep I like, there's some that I'm just like, dude, this is a headache waiting to happen. Like, this is aggravation, if you know. So I don't know, there's some that's definitely just like high-pitched squealing, and that's the evolution of music. Like, how annoying can we make it for the last generation that said that the other generation's music sucked? So, maybe I'm getting too old to make music. I don't know. I know when you have a band, like my mom's got friends that are friends with her on Facebook, and they've talked about like making a band. She's like, yeah, it sounds like 80s music, or it's like it sounds like they're still in the 70s. It's like, they were a band back then, they reformed and made a band now, and they are 70s or 80s or whatever, you know, whatever generation that they first made music in, that's what they're still making, you know, even in the 2013 era, they're still trying to make them their redneck tunes. So maybe that's partly of, I'm not gonna say where these people are from, just know that they are probably from some kind of country area, some kind of country place, and so not Texas. But yeah, if you've known me or known me long enough to know I will claim I am from Alaska. I was born and raised for a while in Montana, so those kind of country places. You get the idea. Anyways, this video has gone on for quite a while. I don't even know. It tells me how many frames are encoded, but I don't know what equals what, how many minutes, so I should have probably looked at the time before I started. Anyways, try and stay happy while you're playing video games. Don't get discouraged by the other people in League of Legends and such. Try and have a good time. That's what games are for. If you can have a good time or influence other people to have a good time, that's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be down and bummed and angry. You should be having fun and enjoying that it's a video game and a pastime. If you enjoy the anime and the anime talks that I have, feel free to comment or message me on Twitter and Facebook. Both of those are /turtle13 spelled out. I can throw up my YouTube thing is like that. Facebook and Twitter also, that's /turtle13. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and yeah, if you guys want to talk about anime and stuff, the shows you watch, the shows you think I should watch, let me know. You can leave comments on Facebook. I try and check everything pretty often, and I thank you guys for watching. Switch back to camera mode. I thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.